Listen, basis loaded bottom of the ninth. Before I start this video, I just want to say thank you to all my longtime supporters that's also supporting my new venture on my international travels. Now, with that being said, everybody put a 7DT in a chat. Repeat, 7DT for a $7 tour. Yes, listen, my travel is not balling, it's traveling on a budget. So for a lot of people that watch my content, you guys are about 18 to about 27 from the analytics. So listen, if you got a lot of money at that age, more power to you. If you don't, I'm still going to show you how to travel on a budget. Now, before I start the tour, you can walk around the tours. They start every 30 minutes, so you can sit back, enjoy the waterfront. I was on Long Street, and I'm going to shoot videos on that. And for anybody out there that's into living in Cape Town, yes, you could live on the waterfront. Before I start, I just want to say Cape Town, it looks like Malibu mixed with Phoenix, Arizona. That's why I love Cape Town so much. I live in Phoenix and I love Malibu. And when you go to Cape Town, I feel like I get the best of both worlds. And on the waterfront, if you're American or if you're from the UK and you're used to Western living, listen, Cape Town will give you that feel and that vibe. More views of the waterfront. A lot of people that live by the pier, they have their boats docked on the pier. So listen, if you had a boat in Miami and you decide to move to Cape Town, listen, you're not going to miss out on the vibe. Listen, Cape Town has everything that America has. And I'm going to say this again. Cape Town has everything you could dream about in America. South Africa has the same thing. I need to explore. I need to go to Durban. I need to go check out Joburg and other places in South Africa. But for now, second time in Cape Town, let it breathe. One thing that I can say is when I leave America and I come to Cape Town, listen, I feel right at home. And the waterfront, Greenpoint, Sea Point, Bantry Bay, Camps Bay, other areas I'm going to show as well. If you are American, or if you're from the UK, these are the areas that you should hang out, and these are the areas that you should stay for safety. The last video I said Cape Town is very dangerous, but it's not dangerous in areas like Waterfront. If you come to Waterfront, you're gonna have a good time. Listen, before the tour start, what a great feeling. This was very therapeutic to sit back and watch the seals. One thing that I could say is this is the first time in my life that I ever had the chance to just look at seal behavior and just how they play, how they sleep. And it was cool. Honestly, it was cool. They seem like they live a very good life. They just lay down all day, mess with each other, probably procreate. And when it gets too hot, they just jump in the water. Not a bad life. Shout out to the seals. And the cool thing about the seals, when you're in the water on a boat ride, make sure you have a portable charger. Make sure you have battery life, because the seals will wave at you on the boat ride for $7. So you got to think about it. $7, you got a boat ride, you got a driver, you got the views. I mean, you could literally eat on the waterfront. There's so much to do on the waterfront. And for $7, you talk about entertainment for the whales. These whales are top-notch entertainment. Before the boat ride, I literally sat back and recorded for 5 minutes. I'm not going to show you 5 minutes of seals, but for my purpose and my enjoyment and my travel and for your travels, trust and believe, the seals is something you can sit back and watch for about 10 to 15 minutes before the tour starts. Now, when you arrive, I took a bus. The first time, second time I came back, I took a cab. But don't worry, you will see signs that say Harbor Cruise. Just follow the signs and it'll take you to the red boat. Listen, I couldn't believe it. I was like, $7? Listen, honestly, I went to Table Mountain, other places, did a lot of things in Cape Town, South Africa, but I can honestly say this was very entertaining, and honestly, I will do it again. Yes, I will go back again and again and again. This is the walk up to the waterfront. As you can see, people enjoying, their time with their families. Cool driver, friendly people. I've been to a lot of countries where a lot of people say, oh, they don't treat Americans good. No, not in Cape Town. Cape Town, very friendly. And the cool thing about this tour is they give you headphones as well. So they give you the history of Cape Town, South Africa, history of the port, everything. But check out this right here. I'm getting better. Boom. In 4K, caught that seal, jumping in, slow motion, ESPN, 30 for 30, let it breathe. To me, I like stuff like that, just in time. Justo a tiempo. Now, this seal right here, he caught me recording. He felt some type of way, but it is what it is. This right here is what you call good content. Yeah, it jumped up everything. That's what I'm saying. Entertainment for $7. You cannot beat that. Listen, I love going to countries where the US dollar goes so far, and it's the best feeling in the world. So sit back, enjoy the tour, and I'm going to come in from time to time, but enjoy the tour. This is the tour, and when I take tours, I'm going to show you everything from start to finish, no small clips for those who can't leave the US, but for those who want to see how it actually looks, listen, I'm gonna show you the whole tour. So sit back and enjoy. Beautiful, beautiful yachts. And at this time, if you're on a tour, you're gonna have headphones in, so you're not gonna, you're gonna see the water, but you're also gonna be listening. And, they talked about times in apartheid, and a lot of countries traded with South Africa during the apartheid. And honestly, as a lot of countries demand, South Africa to end apartheid, they stopped trading with them. And I felt like that's the real reason apartheid ended. If you're not familiar with apartheid, it pretty much was the same thing as segregation in the South. But Cape Town is a port, so it only makes sense that this country is rich in resources because they have the port, and a lot of people come in, import, export, do the trade. This right here is history to making. I love history. This boat looks rusted, but it's still beautiful. There's beauty in the struggle. I'm telling you, at this time, just enjoying life. There go to sales again. There go to salute. You can't beat it. For $7, they greet you for $7. You cannot beat that. It's still mind-blowing how this could be so beautiful. Trust and believe. In Malibu, you're not getting away with $7 for anything in Malibu. You can't even get a $7 soda in Malibu, I'm telling you. So for $7 to get the seals, to salute, oh my goodness. Listen, you have to come through and do this tour. It's a must. It's mandatory. Enjoy the vibes. Water, it wasn't a bumpy ride, it was smooth. For those who have a fear or phobia of being out in the water or drowning, you wouldn't even get this feeling, you wouldn't even get this vibe, you wouldn't be, listen, it's about, I would say in real time, it's about 20 minutes, it's a 20-minute tour. But, I'm gonna edit it, I'm not gonna show you the whole 20 minutes, but beautiful. You cannot beat this. You cannot beat this view. Talking about therapeutic, the red cord that you saw hanging down, that was the earplugs that we had in our phone, and just given the history of Africa, it's just beautiful, man. As far as what happened in South Africa, I wish it didn't happen, but these things happen all over the world. A lot. Listen, for the Dutch and the British came here first. The British came also. The Portuguese were also in South Africa as well. But I could imagine when the early settlers came and they laid eyes on Cape Town, they probably was like, listen, we got to trick the locals, take over the locals, do whatever we got to do to the locals, but we got to have this. That's the only downfall of traveling, when you see how beautiful a country is and you can see where greed just took over the hearts. Like, how do you come, from how does the British come and want to take this over? How does the Dutch come and want to take this over? It's crazy, but that's what happened in the past. And thank God, in the year 2024, things have changed. When I say what a time to be alive, I really mean what a time to be alive, because coming to Cape Town in 1950, listen, I don't know if people are going to tell you this, but this would not have been allowed. Cape Town was highly segregated. A lot of the beaches that you could go to today and get great pictures, Green Point, Sea Point, black people were not allowed in these areas. Yes, these areas were strictly, they actually had beaches where black people used to go to and beaches for whites only. Same thing with the stores. Cape Town to me, as far as the South, kind of the same. I felt like after doing my history and the research of Cape Town, South Africa, and South Africa, I mean, violence is violence, but I think South Africa was a little bit more intense, but like I said, things have changed and I'm excited for that. But the way I'm giving you the history on South Africa is the same thing the driver is going to do. You have two people on the boat. You have a guy driving, and you also have a narrator that's telling you about the history of South Africa. And this is it. This is beautiful. It gives you a vibe of in the U.S., but at the same time, you can see the European influence from the style, the architecture, the buildings. Please save the water. Listen, water is a huge problem in Cape Town, South Africa, and also power shedding. Also as well too. Sometimes the power go out. So this is why it's important when you come to South Africa that you probably stay in the upscale areas so you don't lose power. I stayed on Long Street, and it's crazy. The power went out like 2 hours before I was going to check out. So I got to put that in there. But thanks for everybody. Thank you for supporting the channel. From now on, I'm just going to do travel content, travel the world, and go to different countries. Mexico City is on the list. Japan is on the list. Brazil is on the list. So this is what I'm going to do on my channel. I'm gonna give you a first-person view, boots to the ground. Like if you were there, I'm going to be the guy that's going to show you everything in a first-person view. And thanks for sitting back and watching my video. Cape Town, Waterfront, more videos coming on the Waterfront. But this is what $7 can get you on a tour. And if you want to go on a date with tax, I'm going to be honest, it's going to come out to $16, but not a big deal. Let it breathe.